I like what is happening in the world now. If you see the wars going on, we have been telling you that you people unite and be strong. But people like to become big fish in small ponds. You're in a small pond, you are there, big man. But when real challenge is that you don't have enough. So what's happening in the world should wake up those Africans who have been asleep, that Africa needs to unite, needs to be strong. So that is the second ideological principle, Pan-Africanism. Why? In order to support prosperity. The third one is socio-economic transformation. You must change. You can't remain with the traditional society where you depend on manual labor. You depend on manual labor. Our girls and women are the water pipes to bring the water from the well. Instead of the water being pumped to the homes, the water carriers are our girls to go to the water. Firewood. You find our people blowing in the fireplace. Smoke. The eyes tearing. So we must create a society based on science. A society of which uses electricity, which uses piped water, which sleeps in good houses, which is not abakorera ekida kyonka, only working for the stomach. You work for the echida, for the stomach, but also for the pocket. And that has got a number of implications, education and so on. So the third principle, socio-economic transformation. Because the market we are creating, if we create the African market, there. Then finally, democracy. So those are the ideological principles of the NRM, and that was the reason why. Then you come to the second mission. This one deals with the historical mission of prosperity. This generation must create prosperity for the African people. In the past, African people were slaves. In the colonial times, there was poverty. If you check the figures, by 1962, I think only about 4% of the people were in the money economy. You check the figures, I think maybe 6 or 9%. Can you check? So therefore, this generation must solve the problem of prosperity using the methods I have said. But then there's the second mission of strategic security. How can we be secure, Africa? Africa was first of all ravaged by slave trade. For 400 years, from the time the Portuguese reached West Africa in about 1472, slave trade started. And Africans were taken from Africa for slavery officially up to 1822, when there was the Act of Abolition of Slavery in the UK Parliament. You can count how many years that one is. From 1472 to 1822. You can calculate the number. Then after that, it was colonialism. Now, other people who were colonized disappeared. Go to Australia now, you will not find the original Australians there. The original people are still there, but very few. The Aborigines, marginalized. They were decimated. If you go to the Americas, you find the Europeans there. They are the ones we call Americans now. The original Americans, the Red Indians, either disappeared or they are very, very much reduced in number and lost control of their lands. So Africa being colonized was very risky. But the good thing is that, and the Europeans were really moving to also do like they did in Australia and America. That's how you get the problem of South Africa, where the whites came and took the land and so on. Zimbabwe. Kenya here. In the 1950s, when I was in the primary school system, we were being told that there were white highlands in Kenya. White highlands. That area of central Kenya had become European land. But the good thing is that Africans don't easily die. So somehow, we survived. And why did we survive? Partly because of our advanced system of agriculture. We were staying with our animals in our houses. You would be in the house with a calf, a cow calf, with you, with some goats, some sheep, inside the same house. Some people think this was bad, but it was good. Because those cows were vaccinating us against the diseases. They would breathe into you. That's how we survived. One of the results. So therefore, one of the historical missions is to ensure that never again will Africa be threatened or marginalized. But when we got independence, people started relaxing. We're supposed to have uhuru na umoja. That was the slogan. We get freedom, we unite. Create the East African Federation. But when we got independence, Entebbe Woma, as Venaisa said, people just enjoyed the small chairs they were sitting on and forgot about the integration, political integration, except for Tanganyika and Zanzibar, which formed Tanzania. And we must salute Mr. Nyerere and Karume who did that. But otherwise here, when they were debating the integration in Parliament here, one of our members of Parliament, Abu Mayanja, he used to speak with a speech defect. So he stood up and said, Mr. Speaker, sir, some people want to remain big fifis in small ponds. You can check in the Hansard. You go and check in the Hansard. I think it was 1963 or 65 there. You go and check. So, therefore, the correct thing to do was and is, in addition to because what I told you about the East African Common Market, the African Continental Free Trade Area, those are economic integration. They will solve the problem of prosperity if they are well implemented. But they will not solve the problem of strategic security.